Tell me about squid.
Squid are absolutely wonderful and very affordable, very cheap. They come in a large frozen package with tentacles like this and the bodies here, which usually end up being cut into those rubber band-like rings.
Well, rubber band is if it's done incorrectly. If it's overcooked, it gets that rubber band reputation.
Correct.
But that will be the body part, and normally this would be the head or the tentacle part.
These are the tentacle parts. The tentacles sometimes will have a bit of cartilage from either the beak or the comb, and we just want to, if you feel something hard, you just want to cut it off. And here are the tentacles again here on the bottom, which will be nice when they're fried.
Okay, now that the calamari is all cut up into pieces and we've got our little tubes and such, we're now going to dust it with flour before we fry it. So we have about a cup, a heavy cup and a quarter of just regular flour.
Three-quarters of a cup.
Three-quarters of a cup of flour. And what are you adding to it?
This is about a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
Put it in like that.
Okay.
Pepper to taste, probably a like amount.
Okay.
And then we need some cayenne. And that's obviously to taste. Some people can handle it, some people can't, but it does add a nice little kick. And you can handle probably a little more than you think you can because
you're gonna be shaking the squid in that, and you're going to be leaving a lot of it behind.
Exactly. We don't want much flour on the squid at all.
Okay.
So, anyway, now we're going to throw the oil is shimmering, so I'm going to...
Yes, we've got a pan, and it's about 1/8 of an inch depth of olive oil. And as Mark was pointing out to me earlier, I was saying, how much do you put in? And the answer is, well, it depends on how big your pan is. So it's on medium-high, and it's about 1/8 of an inch deep of oil. And we have a plate, tongs, and paper towels for when the calamari comes out of the pan. And you have put in not all of, but maybe about a quarter.
Basically, I want to put just as much as I need to get into the oil. And I'm going to go quickly to the oil because it's already smoking.
And you're sort of like sifting it through, so you're kind of shaking off the excess flour from in the bag.
Yeah, and that's really probably a little more clumsy than it needs to be. I could just dump them onto a plate. That would work as well.
Okay, and this is the second batch. We've already completed frying the first batch, which is, once it went onto the paper towel on the plate, we set it on the side onto a baking rack. This is going to go into the oven where it will stay warm, and in the meantime, we're going to fry up the second batch, which is the tentacles and the rings all in the same pan. And the first batch took approximately how much time, would you say?
I'm going to say about 10 minutes.
Okay.
It's a little bit longer than you think, and it's always that way. You want to get the first batch, you want to get a little more crispy because they're going to have to wait for the second batch. And you don't want them getting soggy.
Gotcha. Okay, well, back in 10 minutes. Okay, so while the second batch of the calamari is frying, we are going to be creating a pseudo Caesar salad. And we've got 2 heads of romaine. This is actually 1 head of garlic, which is huge, so we're going to use like 2/3 of it. So we'll use which would be about maybe 2 or 3 cloves of garlic under normal circumstances. We've already got some salt in the bowl, just a pinch, and Mark is squeezing in the garlic. We have the lemon rind from one lemon, almost done. Over there you can see that we have some Parmesan cheese. Preferred is Reggiano Parmigiano. And for the rest of the dressing, we're going to use Tabasco and Worcestershire sauce. And olive oil, yes, thank you. We will definitely need that.
This is quite a bit of garlic. Some people may not like as much. We like quite a bit. Much to the chagrin of our friends.
Yes. It tastes good, but, well, we're deodorant.
And where there's quite a bit of zest. Add this in here now. A little Tabasco. Just 3 dashes, 2 dashes, to your taste.
Because it's already going to be a little bit spicy because we've got some cayenne on the flour. Puddle of Worcester.
And then we're going to take half this lemon juice. We want a fairly lemony dressing. That's one of the reasons why I'm kind of skipping the egg.
Yeah, the egg is a little bit heavy for a seafood dressing, so
it just seems to work so well being intensely lemony with the squid. I'm sure no one would cry about having an egg in their Caesar dressing, but it's a nice compliment.
But you don't need it, and this works.
Yes, this works. It works very nicely.
Okay, and you have cracked pepper?
Cracked pepper.
Just a few grinds.
Couple grinds.
Okay. And in the meantime, we still have the calamari cooking, and you're just trying to get it crispy and brown.
Precisely. And I usually take it just a little bit further than I think I need to because I don't want it to get soggy quickly in the salad. We've said before, salads are a lot about texture. And we want crispy and soft and sour and savory, all kind of coming together at once. This is getting close.
We're back to the second batch of the squid, which includes the rings and the tentacles. And we have the first batch that was warming in the oven. And we're just going to add to it. You just ate one. Is it good?
It's quite good.
Awesome.
It's going to need a little bit of adjustment on the seasoning. It's going to need a little salt. But that's okay. That's just fine. We can do that on the fly here.
Okay. Now that the calamari is all done, both batches, and they are in a warm oven. The oven is off. It was at 350 for a little while. But we turned it off because we don't want to overcook the calamari. So you just want to, a warm place to keep it. We have 2 heads of fresh romaine lettuce. The salad dressing is done. And we're just chucking it all in the bowl. This is a great little tool.
It used to be a woodworking tool.
Yeah.
And this is probably about a 25-year-old tool. It used to be a very hip new thing, but it's withstood the test of time. A lot of usage. In fact, all people have done is gotten different varieties of the microplane graters. That should be just fine.
Yeah, just chuck it all in there because it's going to be good.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Okay, and now we are
getting the squid
/ calamari.
I'm just going to add some rings to both.
Now, if you're not doing, paleo or anything, you wouldn't do croutons with this.
No,
I mean, normally you have a Caesar salad, with the egg, and you do the croutons and garlic, but it's just really not. It doesn't fit this meal.
This is about the squid, not about the bread. And that's the important thing to remember.
In this case, it's sort of like the squid is the crouton.
Yes.
It's the crispy aspect of the salad.
Exactly. They do fill sort of the same niche, if you will. You want everybody to get a couple tentacles. Nice crispy brown.
Do not avoid the tentacles.
Yeah, they're really
They're
the best
really
part.
good. It's really, really good.
They are the best part.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mark.
Bon appetit.